Alright, so today is the day. We put the new gear in, we put the new gasket on, and we hope to God that that thing doesn't break off again. If it does, we're going to try to weld it up, and we'll fix it that way. Hopefully we don't have to do that, and everything is good to go. Otherwise, we're just going to put some new coolant in it. Once we get the cover back on, we're going to tighten all these stuff up, because I did take the clutch off before. So we're going to re-tighten these up and get the kick mechanism to work again, and then we should be good to go. Also, we have to reattach the clutch cable, and I think that's pretty much it. So let's get to work, and we have to peel off these gaskets too. You can see all these little gaskets left on the case. Peel off those gaskets, slap on the new gasket, and then we should be good to go. So stay tuned, should be fun. Then we can actually rip it in the back, maybe hit a couple jumps, and wrap up the video. So stay tuned. Alright, so this is the new gasket that came in the mail. It has the number right here for it, the item number, and then this is the new gear that came in the mail. So it looks super good. Whoever sent it did a really good job cleaning it up. The splines look really good still. This is the same little gear that came with it. This thing was 14 bucks, which he only made like $5 on it because shipping was probably like 10, so that wasn't too bad. As you can see, this piece right here is a piece that was cut off the other one. I'll show you in a little bit, but this whole piece was completely missing from it. So I just ordered up a new one, and we have it replaced. So hopefully this does the trick. Also came with this little guy and a couple screws. So just in case the other screws were stripped out, we have a couple more. And yeah, so this should just slide right into place and should be good to go. So we're going to find that out pretty soon here. I'm going to get the old one, mash up all these parts with it, and hopefully they're all the same, and then we'll put it in the bike. Alright, so these are the parts for the old one. As you can see, we have a few changes between the two, a few differences between the two. So as you can see right away, this piece right here is different than the piece that I got in the mail. This one's a little bit bigger, and it's yellow in color. So we're going to use that piece instead, the original one. These metal pieces are the exact same though, so that's good. Let's see what else. These gears are the exact same, and this piece right here is the exact same right there. So we're going to use this piece and then put all this stuff onto this. So even the spring is the same as well. So we're going to put the spring on there, and then we're going to use this spring instead of the one that was given to us, and then use all the original parts back onto this one. So pretty much I just wanted this gear mechanism because I knew that was different to begin with, because this is off of a KX60. So this is different, and I think the screws are different, and I think that's pretty much it. But everything else is the same because it's the same model bike, it's just 60cc. So obviously a few things are going to be a little bit different, but we should be able to swap parts out and make it all good. So we're going to swap it out, place it in the bike, and hopefully that'll do the trick. So I've got all the parts I'm going to lay out right here. Got the diagram right here. And we're going to just simply put all these pieces together. So according to the diagram, we're going to do, this is already put together, the gear's already on, this thing's already on. So what comes next is the spring. So we're going to put this spring on right here, like that. Next thing it says is this spring. So this spring, there's a little hole right here, and then there's a little hole, as you can see, right down in that shaft. So this is going to go like that, and you're going to decompress that spring, or compress it I should say, and then that's going to fit right in that little hole, like that. And then, according to the diagram, you take this piece, has a little slot in it like that. That's going to go right down here, and that little cutout piece is going to fit right where that cutout piece is in the metal. And that's going to lay in there like that. And then the last piece is going to be this one. It's going to be connected to the actual motor, and then it's going to hold that in place. So this is the old one that can be put right here. Now we take this and this piece, and all these nails, and we walk it over to the bike. And this is going to go right in here. So this piece is going to go like this, and these two screws come out right here, and then this piece is going to plop right in there. So I'll get that done and show you guys. Alright guys, so I got the gear in. It's a lot easier if you take the clutch basket off, and then you can have all this area to work with. But the clutch basket just came off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts and a couple springs, and this bolt right there. And then once you get that off, you can put this whole gear in there. You want to put this in after this piece that's kind of like bent like that. That goes in underneath this piece right here, so that it stops it right there. So this twists this way. I'll show you a demonstration of it right now and kind of how that works. Put the little kick lever on it. But it's kind of pretty cool how it works. So, a little demonstration. So watch in there. You can see the gears grabbing in here when you pull down, and then the whole gear thing works. So right now you can spin these freely like that because this spring allows that gear to spring out, and that hits that, which allows the gears to be free. Then they spin, and as soon as you kick the kick lever over, it locks those up and then spins both of them together like that. So again, the way these go in, gear back there first, then this thing goes over that piece right there, and then the spring goes on, and then the spring is going to be right here when it's loose, and then you're going to have to wrap it around into the hole on the side of the case right here, and then put the plastic piece in there, and that holds that spring that goes into this rod right here nice and tight in there. So that's basically all it is. And now we're going to put the clutch back on, and then finally we're going to take that seal out and see if we can get a tighter fit for the pump. So hopefully we can get the water pump fixed and have that seal keep out the coolant. So stay tuned, we're getting close. Alright guys, got the new gasket. We're gonna go put this on the bike. I cleaned out the water pump seal, and it's looking pretty good. That spring in there is still pretty springy, so I think it's gonna hold. I think there's debris in there that was just clogging it up, maybe some metal shavings that was letting some coolant through. So I just cleaned it up really good. Got all the oil out of there and all the grease, and hopefully that works. I cleaned up the borders of the case. No gaskets are left on it. I got this gasket, brand new, fits perfectly. I already tried it out, so that's going to go on there. I also cleaned up the outside of this guy right here, so this is looking brand new. That's the part that I welded, as you guys know from last video. But yeah, I got all the gasket off, so all we have to do is put the gasket on, slap that guy on, and we should be good to go. Put some coolant in it, put the kick lever back on, and hope that this piece in here doesn't break out. So stay tuned, hopefully this goes together. Right, so we got the everything back together. I did not put a screw between these two holes because it doesn't mesh up perfectly, and I'm afraid if I drive that screw in there, it's going to rip off one end of them. So I'm just going to keep this like that. Every other screw went in. The water pump is good to go. Gasket was still good in that, so I left that. These tubes are good to go, no holes in these. I put the kick lever on, and it does kick over and come back. See, it springs back now. Before it didn't do that, remember? So we're all good there. Pretty good spring back. The splines are good, so it doesn't strip out. So I think we're good to go. We're just going to add some oil to it quick, put some coolant in, and then we're going to take it for a test drive. So that should be pretty exciting. Hopefully it doesn't crack the case right here. I might just bump start it to begin with just so we can get a ride in, just in case it does break. I'd like to ride it before it does break again. Alright, so 0.7 liters of oil, as you can see stamped on the oil canister, goes into this thing. So we're going to use some 80W/85 weight Pro Honda oil, and we're going to pour, this is 32 fluid ounces, so we're going to measure out, I think it's like 23.7 or something like that, ounces into here. So going in. And then after this, we're going to add some coolant, and then we are going to take it for a ride. Should be pretty exciting. Hopefully it runs. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for it to get done, and the build is finally done. We're going to then, if it works, we're going to clean it up, make it look really good, and then that will be that. So stay tuned. We're going to take it for a rip. Alright, so I know I told you I was going to ride it, but gas is leaking too much. And I put a new filter on it and new gas lines, and it's still leaking out of the carb. I have the overflow, so I think the float height is set wrong. So before we can actually take it for a GoPro ride, I want to get the carb cleaned off and all that crap off of there, and then go through the jets, clean those out, and go through the air filter and get all that ready to go. It does ride. I took it for a quick spin. I just bump started it, and runs really, really good. But I think the flow height's just a little bit too high, so it's not shutting off that gas when it's coming through, so it just continuously flows. Let's see here, what else? I added coolant to it. That's going good. No leaking from the coolant anywhere, no leaking from the oil anywhere. As you can see, the oil is right there in the little window. So the oil is going through the system. What else? No leaks in the top end, anything like that. I took it for about a 4-minute ride just to get the oil warmed up and the coolant flowing, and it seemed to be going pretty good. We're going to take a GoPro ride once I get the carb cleaned and the air filter cleaned. Other than that, I think we're good to go. The case didn't break yet, even though I don't know what to think about it yet. So I didn't try kicking it over yet either. I'm too scared to do that. I might just bump start it from now on and then kick it over after I get riding it a little bit, just so I can ride it before it breaks again. So, alright guys, just clean out the carb, set the float height. I set it to a little bit higher so that it shuts off a little bit sooner. That seemed to work, no more gas leaking. Took it for a ride, ripped pretty good. So now we're going to look at the air filter underneath the seat and then put this pipe on a little bit tighter because, as you guys know, it was just flopping in the wind. So hopefully we can fix that and look at the air filter, and then we can take it for a ride. Alright, so as I'm waiting for the GoPro to charge before we take a rip on the KX80 here, I thought I'd talk about this quick little Kawasaki. It's a KV75. These are actually pretty rare bikes. I've owned one before and it was orange, and that one sold for I think 1,300 bucks or somewhere around there. And they're highly collectible bikes. This one's I think a 76 I believe is the year, or a 77. Starts right up, got it for 400 bucks. It is almost complete. It's got the tail light, the headlight, all the switches up here. I can't think of anything that's not complete. I guess the only thing is like the foot pegs are missing, like the rubbers, and I think that's it. Even has a cool little side panel, a little oil tank on the side, and it has the original air filter, carb, coil, all that good stuff. Looks all original. It says Kawasaki on the plate. It's actually in really good shape. The seat's not too bad. We ripped, at least on the top of it. That looks like the original seat. It says Kawasaki. And the foam is a little bit showing right here. Original pipe. So yeah, we can just start it up here quick. Starts up so easily. Runs perfect. Turn the gas on here. Pretty cool little bike. 400 bucks in Appleton. Can't really beat that. But now we're gonna go ride this bad boy and see how that handles. So stay tuned. Alright guys, got this beast running. Just took a little bit extra time, but I think we're good to go now. Sounds pretty good. It's pretty wet back there still. We'll go in the back over here. As you can tell, it has a little bit of pep to it. Thing runs great. Thing's really fast. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty fast for a little bike. Got hit with something. Oh. Downshifted a little bit too much. Thing's fun, holy cow. Alright guys, just got done with the ride on the KX80 for the first time. This thing absolutely rips. I know in the video it kind of sounds like I'm not shifting gears, but it's shifting gears. The video makes it look really slow, but it's pretty fast, believe me. So everything works on it, no leaks whatsoever, except for from in the pipe, because the pipe is kind of janky on it. But other than that, no leaks by the JB Weld. The JB Weld is still holding up around here and around there. And all that's left to do is just clean it up, and then we can really rip it in the back. I think we're going to take a video where I go over a couple jumps, a couple small jumps, just to see if that case can handle it with all the rattling around. And then I'm probably going to sell it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. It was a long process getting this case all welded up and JB welded up, and then we had to do the oil change and the new coolant and the carb clean. So it was a process, but definitely worth it. This bike absolutely rips, and I'm excited to do the top speed video with it and the rip in the back. So stay tuned for that. Also, go check out my Instagram at 2_vintage_. I do behind the scenes. Like, I picked up this little Kawasaki 75, and I do behind the scenes on that, picking it up and stuff. So if you guys want to see that, go follow me at 2_vintage_. And that should do it. So thanks guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, go hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 100K, so I'd really appreciate it. And I think that's pretty much it. So everyone have a good day, and until next time, we are out.